Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, an early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really...
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
Well documented that he's the son of a former Major League pitcher. But Pat has always said that football has fired him up in a way that baseball just didn't. He always wanted to be a football player, still has the big arm that his father had, and he uses it to send the ball downfield in a big way.
This is the rookie from USC, Ronald Jones, his first NFL carry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Out left, he's got it to Everett. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
Going for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 45.
And again, it's Mahomes. And that's incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And some room to run now. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. Now a first down carry by Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
Here we go now. Blue 45.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. To throw, it's Mahomes. Able to get away. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. The former Brown, Jabal Sheard, coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. On first down, it's Keenan. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Randall Cobb, 81 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down.
Blue 45.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jabal Sheard in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
Coming up the lowest yards per carry average of his career is Lamar Miller at 3.7, and that's not normal for him because of his versatility. He can catch it out of the backfield, but his best attribute, high-volume ball carrier. Runs it inside with power, physicality, and some really good vision in order to break some big runs.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Here we go now. 390.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Yeah, that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
I'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely frees up your guys elsewhere. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively. And it'll be fourth down. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow ball finds his way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, and down he goes. Keenum is sacked.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
Dumps it complete to Miller. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing.
Blue 45. Blue 45.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Back to the air on second down. It's Mahomes working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Ray Malaluga. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? I mean, you're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play. But when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
A good pickup there, a 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there, perfectly executed. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Throwing is Keenum. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through. They ended up tackling for a loss.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's third and goal. Out of the gun, Keenum. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. The Browns' D locked in on third down. Brings up fourth.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now Mason Crosby on for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Crosby puts it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
Throwing now is Mahomes, and that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
On first down, Murray. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
His throw incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down.
Green 90. Green 90.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45. Hut, hut, hut.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. They'll find Everett there, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a first down.
Here we go now.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now 2nd down.
Hey. Ready. Blue 45. Blue 45.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out
nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Corey Legion able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
They begin with a run by Miller. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out-leveraging the offense.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run. Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Ray Mallelujah in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
And this one's incomplete. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Keenum now to throw. Crabtree with it over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The Steelers on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing again is Keenum. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. A shotgun snap for Keenum. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Keenum. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Kendall Wright as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Mahomes now on first down. Throw right side, taken in by Wallace. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Blue 45. Blue 45.
On second down, here's Mahomes. Caught left side, Hopkins. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
Final shot before the half for Mahomes. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ballgame. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a second and long.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. And Crosby puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal, because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say, if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Here we go. Blue 45.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. Well, you said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
Incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. He's got his man. That's Wallace. 23 yards on the play.
I know retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32. Mahomes hit. He lost the football, but I think Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Mahomes going to throw. Out left, he's got it to Everett. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
False start, offense.
This O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
11 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the 1st down sticks are, and get there.
Keenum going to throw. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
False start, offense.
Had some momentum going, driving down the field. That'll set him back 1st and 15.
I mean, that type of play, when you've got to go in your direction, shoot, my man Old Mo is arching an eyebrow at him right now. You've got me going. Keep me going.
Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Spencer Ware, 39 yards. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
When you know you've got a home run hitter on your side of the ball, and you know that he can score from anywhere on the field, it usually inspires the rest of the guys to do their jobs even better. That resulted in a lot of great blocks downfield because they knew if they gave him space, he could do exactly what he did, put the ball in the end zone.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Here we go now. Green, 90.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here we go now. Green, 90. Green, 90.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
4 down, check. 4 down, 4 down. Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. And able to find Decker. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd down, Miller. He showed off the athletic juke, but it didn't buy him a whole lot of real estate. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. They just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Keenum now, perfect since the 2nd half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Miller. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he'll go down at the 28. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's Miller. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And Crosby puts it through, and that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Back to the air on second down. It's Mahomes. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
They run again with Ware. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Play action. It's Keenum. And Eifert has it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
His pass caught at the 4. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Michael Crabtree from 8 yards out. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. Turning into a really good performance on the road, week one. You're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
It'll be a gain of 4, and it's a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because...
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Linval Joseph in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
So it's a rare 2-miss ball game for him now. Normally one of the more dependable guys you're going to find around.
Very unlike him. One of the better kickers in the NFL. And I don't think there's anything wrong with him physically or mechanically. He's just having one of those games.
They'll run now with Ware. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now it's Keenum. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Pittsburgh, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Browns, They obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.